number 272 onwards. I'll just share my screen quickly. And devotees can raise your hands so that we don't waste time. Okay, 24.2 cent. Yes, Arun Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dhandavat.
नारद कहे व्याधा एई न होयाश्चर्य। हरि भक्ते हिंसा शून्य होया साधु वर्या। Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Narad Muni said, "My dear hunter, such behavior is not at all astonishing. A man in devotional service is automatically non-violent. He is the best of gentlemen." Shall I read Purport also, Mataji?
Yes, yes, yes.
Purport. In this verse, the word sadhu varya means the best of gentlemen. At the present moment, there are many so-called gentlemen who are expert in killing animals and birds. Nonetheless, these so-called gentlemen profess a type of religion that strictly prohibits killing. According to Narad Muni and Vedic culture, animal killers are not even gentlemen, to say nothing of being religious men. A religious person, a devotee of the Lord, must be non-violent. Such is the nature of the religious person. It is contradictory to be violent and at the same time call oneself a religious person. Such hypocrisy is not approved by Narad Muni and the disciplic succession. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we know the discussion is going on how between the hunter Mrigari and Narada Muni, and we have heard that how he was such a cruel personality that he would feel relished or he would feel blissful by seeing half killed animals. And then Narada Muni approaches him and tells like, I understand that uh, for your household or own uh, for your own food, that is your profession, you kill animals, that is still understanding, but then why do you half kill them? And for that he is like, that gives me pleasure. So that kind of a deep sense of pleasure the hunter had, Murugari had. But by simply by the association of Narad Muni, he asks that, so how it is important, as we were discussing in the last class also, how it is important for us to follow the right path, so that that way simply by following the right path and doing the right things and maintaining a good character is simply by our presence influence good things, auspiciousness on others. In the sense that when Narad Muni simply asked this question, immediately the hunter felt that he is someone whom I should surrender or someone whom I should listen to, because that was the personality of Narad Muni. And then Narad Muni says that if you want to surrender, if you want, first throw the bow, this what you call it, the bow and the arrows. And that was a big leap of faith for Mragari, because he did not know what was going to come for him, but now he's been asked. So that way the discussion goes on, and now he feels that he is a completely changed personality. And for that, Narad Muni is replying that a man in devotional service is automatically non-violent. So it is told that the path of devotional service, the path laid down to us by Srila Prabhupada, the four regulative principles and the aspects of devotional service and the aspects of small, small things which we are being told in the process of Krishna consciousness, to do it to Krishna, that is cooking, offering to the Lord. So basic things when we are doing regularly, chanting the holiness prescribed number of rounds in the of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when the basic things when we are following, na, automatically auspiciousness comes to on us. Auspiciousness means naturally and automatically we feel averse to wrong things. And here it is told that when it non-violence means no killing of animals. We cannot kill animals, eat them on a plate. Means killing means in the common term or common word how it is considered that one who holds a sword and kills is a killer, but something which is bought online, then it is okay to eat because I have not killed it. It doesn't work that way. Even when it comes to karma also, it does not work. In Vedic principles, it does not hold like this. Every person from the time a fish is caught and it is sold and then it is cooked and it is brought and it is eaten. Every person is involved in the in the sequence of karma. So that is how we hold responsibility for all our actions we do. And so the devotional principle of devotional mood of calling a gentleman is totally different from a common world principle, because whoever is in suit boot and who appears very well, very clean externally, is considered as gentleman. But in the Vedic principles, one who has the right character, does the right things, is only considered as gentleman. So here Narmuni says that when a person is involved in devotional service, he automatically becomes the best of the gentlemen. Next one. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. And
Hare
pranams.
Krishna.
Mataji, your voice is little bit low only, but when I use the earphone only, I'm able to hear properly,
This
Mataji.
is full for me here.
Okay, Mataji.
I'm sorry.
एतेन हि अद्भुता व्याधा तवा हिंसादयो गुणाः हरिभक्तौ प्रवृत्ताये न ते स्युः परतापिनः.
Okay, I will
Translation
also
by...
put my earphones. So that would be better, na? Just a minute.
Yes, Mataji, maybe.
Yeah, that would be better.
Translation and
And
translation and purpose.
I'll come back. I'll come. Now you're able to hear me better? Now it's better?
Yes, Mataji. It's better now,
Now we read the
Mataji.
shloka again.
Okay, Mataji. एतेन हि अद्भुता व्याधा तवा हिंसादयो गुणाः हरिभक्तौ प्रवृत्ताये न ते स्युः परतापिनः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O hunter, good qualities like non-violence, which you have developed, are not very astonishing, for those engaged in the Lord's devotional service are never inclined to give pain to others because of envy. Purport. This is a quotation from the Skanda Purana. Hare
So
Krishna.
this is
Mataji.
also a validity test for us, that if we are still feeling envious or feeling hatred towards others, that means we are not performing our devotional service, our basic duties or devotional activities properly. Because one who is performing his devotional activities perfectly and properly, automatically all auspiciousness comes, and he naturally automatically feels non-envious, and he feels wants to do good for others, and he does not want to give pain to others. These are the natural qualities that he develops. And suppose we, in the heart, core of our heart, we are having too much trouble with these, means we nearly need to improve our devotional quality of devotional service. Okay, next one, Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Krishna's
Jai.
Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.
Jai.
Text number 274.
Jai.
Tabe se vyata dhonhare anghana anila kushasana ani dhonhare bhakye vasaila. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The hunter then received the two great stages in the courtyard of his house. He spread out a straw mat for to sit upon, and with great devotion he begged to them to sit down. Haribol. Thank you, Mataji.
So Narad Muni was coming with the who was the other Muni? Parashar Muni. You are muted.
Parvata Muni, Mataji.
Yes. So both were coming, and now he was in completely ecstasy, and he wanted to really serve the sadhus. And so he called them, he made them sit. He was a totally different behavior than it was before, actually. Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Jala ani bhakta ye donahara pada prakashila seyi jala stri purushe piya shire laila. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. He then fetched water and washed the sages' feet with great devotion. Then both husband and wife drank that water and sprinkled it on their heads. Shall I read purport, Mataji?
Yes.
Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. This is the process one should follow when receiving a spiritual master or someone on the level of the spiritual master. When the spiritual master comes to the residence of his disciples, the disciples should follow in the footsteps of the farmer hunter. It does not matter what one was before initiation. After initiation, one must learn the adequate mentioned here. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams Mataji.
So 2-3 things are very important in this. One is when Mrigari started following, his wife also started following. So it is very helpful if the members of the family, if everybody has the same idea or same goal, it becomes much easier and focused it becomes. And so both husband and wife were following, and they both received with great honor and respect both the Munis, Narad Muni and Parvata Muni. And then they made them sit, and then they offered basic whatever it was. So point is, this is the mood we should have when we are receiving guests, when we are receiving very senior devotees, when we are receiving our spiritual master. And that is one more thing is, see, now when we know Srila Prabhupada, his how he was when he went to New York in the 1966-67, all the people there were very, very, that way we can say their standard of living was also not great, in the sense that the common things they did not know, very the drug addicts kind of thing. So then they all started following Srila Prabhupada, and slowly they started very strictly following the regulative principles, and they become very devoted disciples, and then Srila Prabhupada gives them initiation. So so when somebody accepts initiation, we should understand that from today my life is completely changed, and I take it as my responsibility to do the needful, the best, as I am expected to be. I don't have to think that I was like this for my own old conditionings. I don't have to worry about. It also means that after initiation also, unfortunately, the old conditions come back. That time we should be very careful to not to encourage or entertain such conditionings, because we are conditioned souls, the conditionings come back. But we as a third person, like suppose somebody has taken initiation, and then we know their past stories, we know what they were doing, or non-vegetarians or whatever it is, and now they have taken initiation, and they are perfectly and strictly following the principles of initiation or principles of devotional service, then we need to give them the utmost respect. And then if we consider that, okay, I know what he is, because I have seen him what he was when he was before initiated, if we say that, and we commit great Vaishnava aparad, and our devotional level goes down. So these are the subtle things. As devotees, we need to be very careful to how to give the due respect to the Vaishnavas, disregarding, not considering their previous conditionings. And as practitioners, we should understand that we should not come back to our previous conditionings after taking initiation, because that way we are loading karma, that way we are burdening our spiritual master. The next one, who wants to read? Arun Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kampapulas Haila Krishna Nama Gana Urdhva Bahu Nirtya Kare Vastra Udana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the hunter chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra before his spiritual master, his body trembled and tears welled up in his eyes. Filled with ecstatic love, he raised his hands and began to dance, waving his garments up and down. Hare Krishna Mataji.
He has become a pure devotee now. He is into complete ecstasy. And when he chanted Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra, immediately all different ecstatic symptoms appeared on his body, and he was trembling, tears in his eyes. This is Dayanam Galada Shudharaya, Vadanam Gadgada Hridayagira. All these kind of ecstatic symptoms were developed on his body, and he started dancing. So that was the power of Narad Muni, and that was the dedication of Murugari and his family. Yes, Mataji, Dr. Karpagavalli, K. Karpagavalli Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My connection is low, your connection is also not so good at all.
देखिए देरेला प्रेम पर्वत महामुनि नारा देरे का कि तुम्हें वो स्पास मनी translation is Prabhupada KJ. When Parvata Muni saw the ecstatic loving symptoms of the hunter, he told Narada, certainly you are a touchstone. Perfect. When Mataji, can you scroll up, Mataji? When a touchstone touches iron, it turns the iron into gold. Parvata Muni called Narada Muni a touchstone because by his touch the hunter, who was the lowest among men, became an elevated and perfect Vaishnava. Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura said that the position of a Vaishnava can be tested by seeing how good a touchstone he is. That is by seeing how many Vaishnavas he has made during his life. A Vaishnava should be a touchstone so that he can convert others to Vaishnavism by his preaching, even though people may be fallen like the hunter. There are many so-called advanced devotees who sit in a secluded place for their personal benefit. They do not go out to preach and convert others into Vaishnavas, and therefore they certainly cannot be called Sparsa Muni, advanced devotees. Kanishta Adhikari devotees cannot turn others into Vaishnavas, but Madhyama Adhikari Vaishnava can do so by preaching. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advises followers to increase the numbers of Vaishnavas. Yare deke tare deke Krishna Ubedesa Amara Agnya Guru Hana Tara Desa. It is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wish that everyone should become a Vaishnava and Guru. Following the instructions of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his reciprocal succession, one can become a spiritual master, or the process is very easy. One can go everywhere and anywhere to preach the instruction of Krishna. But the Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's instructions. Therefore, the duty of every Vaishnava is to travel and preach Bhagavad Gita either in his country or a foreign country. This is a test of Sparsa Muni following the footsteps of Narada Muni. Thank you, Mataji.
It is. You are able to hear me properly?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes,
so,
Mataji.
Sparshamani means touchstone. So by seeing the changes, by seeing the kind of behavior which Mrugari, the cruel hunter, was exhibiting, Parvata Muni was completely shocked, and he says that to Narad, but you are a real touchstone. Touchstone, just by the touch changes an iron to gold, and if you are able to put on so much of good character into such a cruel hunter, that means you are really a touchstone. So that is one thing that is, so it is very important, as we already discussed, that to have with the proper character and mood to perform the devotional service, so that we will be able to set a good example to others. That is one thing. Second thing, very important thing is, as we followers of the Gaudiya Vaishnava principles, it is very important for us to maintain our good character and example, and also to share with others whatever little knowledge we have. So that is the concept of preaching, and that was what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted Srila Prabhupada to do, and that is what Srila Prabhupada, in his ripened old age, at the age of 69, he goes to the West to preach in the sense to share the knowledge and to give this knowledge of Krishna consciousness to others, so that they also understand that Krishna is in everybody's heart and dormant love for Krishna is existing. It is just the question of purifying their own existence so that they can also exhibit or experience the love of Krishna. So that was the goal of Srila Prabhupada, and for that he took all that endeavor to go. And so we, as devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement, or as the practitioners of Krishna consciousness movement, first thing is we need to maintain a good character and good sadhana level, so that we ourselves are able to feel the presence of Krishna to some extent, at least in our heart, very strictly follow the regulative principles, and also wherever little here there possible, to share the knowledge which we have, the bliss which we have experienced with others, so that others also can follow it. Okay, next one. Who wants to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I Mataji?
Yes, okay.
अहो अहो धन्यो श्री देवर्षे कृपया वश्य तत्क्षणात् नीचोऽपि उत्कलतो लभे लभे लुब्धा को रतिम अच्युते. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Parvata Muni continued, my dear friend Narada Muni, you are glorified as the sage among the demigods. By your mercy, even a low-born person like this hunter can immediately become attached to Lord Krishna. Celebrate purport by A.C. Bhakti and Prabhupada ki jai. A pure Vaishnava believes in the statements of the Shastras. This verse is quoted from the Vedic literatures, Sri Skanda Purana. Hare Krishna Mataji,
Parvata
Pranam.
Muni continues to glorify Narada Muni. Next one. Shobha Matu.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji, text 279, Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. नारदा कहे वैष्णवा तुम्हारा आना किचु आया, व्याधा कहे यारे पतो से दिया याया. Translation and purport Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Narada Muni then asked the hunter, my dear Vaishnava, do you have some income for your maintenance? Purport. The hunter replied, my dear spiritual master, whoever you send gives me something when he comes to see me. This confirms the statement in the Bhagavad Gita 9.22 to the effect that Lord carries all necessities of his Vaishnava devotees. Narada Muni asked the former hunter how he was being maintained, and he replied that everyone who came to see him brought him something for his maintenance. Krishna, who is situated in everyone's heart, says, I personally carry all necessities to a Vaishnava. He can order anyone to execute this. Everyone is ready to give something to a Vaishnava, and if a Vaishnava is completely engaged in devotional service, he need not be anxious for his maintenance. Haribol, Shanti Mataji.
This is a very important statement. Also, such things, when we want to thinking of including in our lives, we need to take spiritual guidance. That is a disclaimer here. So here what is happening is, Mrigari was a hunter and his living was based on his hunting only. And now what has happened, his bow and arrow has been thrown and he is absolutely not killing animals. Now a hunter, if he does not kill the animals, then how will he survive? So that is the question which Narada Muni asks, how are you surviving? Because that was your livelihood. And for that, he says that that doesn't matter for me. Someone here, there keeps coming to see me, and whenever they come, they bring something, and that way I am sustained. So here Prabhupada is quoting Bhagavad Gita 9.22, where Krishna says, Yogakshem Vahamiham. I preserve what you have and I provide what you lack. So that is the kind of faith we need to have to do that kind of thing. That is, today, if I say I leave my job, I leave my occupation, and I know Krishna will provide. If we have that kind of faith, if we are in that level, then Krishna will also provide, and we will be sufficiently tested also. So it is definitely a great leap of faith. But if we are in our conditioning situation, at least whatever we are performing our occupational duties, perform with detachment. Follow the principle of Bhagavad Gita only again. That is Nishkama Karma Yoga, where we are not attached to the results, or we are not too much having great expectations of our prescribed duties, but we nonetheless need to prescribe duties perform, because prematurely, if we give up, then it becomes a hypocrisy. We cannot be a hypocrite. So if we are very sure that we are not a hypocrite, then we can just blindly follow. So we also have a story in Chaitanya Charitamrita where Srivas Thakur, there were 4 brothers, and Srivas, Srinidhi, Sripati, and one more devotee. There were 4 brothers, and once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to their home, and he saw that everybody was intensely performing bhajan. And then Mahaprabhu asked that, what do you do for your survival? And then one of the brothers, he just clapped 3 times, and he is like, within 3 claps, if I do not get food in my house, then I'll jump to the Ganga. So that is the faith he had. That is, if whatever is the situation, immediately, if I pray, immediately I will get it. So with that kind of faith, if we have, then we can perform that kind of, we can just give up everything and just be completely situated in devotional service. Arun Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Eta anna na pathao kichu karya nai sabe janara yogya bhaksha matra jai. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The former hunter said, please do not send me so much grain. Only send what is sufficient for 2 people, no more. But the former hunter only wanted enough for 2 people to eat, no more. It is not necessary for a Vaishnava to keep a stock of food for the next day. He should receive only sufficient grain to last 1 day. The next day, he must again depend on the Lord's mercy. This is the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When his personal servant Govinda sometimes kept a stock of haritaki, myrobalan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised him, saying, why did you keep a stock for the next day? Srila Rupa Goswami and others were begging daily from door to door for their sustenance, and they never attempted to stock their ashrama with food for the next day. You should not materially calculate, thinking it is better to stock food for a week. Why give the Lord trouble by having him bring food daily? One should be convinced that the Lord will provide daily. There is no need to stock food for the next day. Hare Krishna
Very
Mataji.
powerful statement, and it is so much different from what we actually do at home. So many things we simply stock. The whole our existence only is based on stock. So much people accumulate, and sometimes we see the situation and we feel that we need to do the needful. So all this goes by spiritual guidance, exactly depending on where we stand and what we are supposed to do. So having said that, when we see the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lila, the very first time when he took sannyas, and with 4 of his assistants, he was going from Jagannath Puri. He was going from Shantipur to Jagannath Puri, and he had 4 devotees with him, and they had to walk the entire way. It would take some weeks, like that at least. And that time he instructed very clearly, you are not going to carry anything with you. You are going to completely depend on Krishna. And so that is the instruction which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gave. And that is the instruction which Sanatan Goswami also gives. When he was leaving the jail with the servant, that is Ishan, he told him very clearly, don't bring anything with you. Still, Ishan carried 8 gold coins, and they had to go through a situation on the way wherein a Muslim person wanted to attack them because they had 8 gold coins. So the principle which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his disciples, which he followed. His disciples like Rup, Sanatan, everybody followed. And that is what is being told, is coming down for us in Parampara. If we cannot do exactly how they, because we cannot imitate the great Vaishnavas, and if we imitate, we will fall down fully. If we, at least we should have the conscious, that understanding that actually, even if I am stocking food, it is by the mercy of Krishna I am able to eat today. Otherwise, even after having so much food stocked, I may not be able to eat today. So at least we should understand that even whatever we are doing, it is only through the mercy of Krishna that is finally happening. We may be feeling that I am the doer, but I am not the doer. It is the mercy of Lord that is happening. So if with that kind of understanding, if we do and perform our sadhana bhakti also, Krishna is pleased. Next one. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Shall I read Mataji?
Yes, yes, yes.
नारद कहे अच्छी तेरा तुम भी भाग्यवान ये बलि दुई जना आइला
Antardhana.
अंतर्धाना. Translation by Sri Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Narada Muni approved his not wanting more than a daily supply of food, and he blessed him, saying, "You are fortunate." Narada Muni and Parvata Muni then disappeared from that place. Hare Krishna
So they were
Mataji.
very happy and they moved on. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. एता काहिलु तो माया व्याधेरा आख्याना याशु नीले हया साधु संग प्रभावा ज्ञाना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus I have narrated the incident of the hunter. By hearing this narration, one can understand the influence of association with devotees. Purport also, Mataji.
Yes.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to stress that even a hunter, the lowest of men, could become a topmost Vaishnava simply by associating with Narada Muni or a devotee in his bona fide disciplic succession. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells the story of Mrigari hunter and the greatness of Narada Muni, both Mrigari and Narada Muni, and they go further. Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 283. Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Yehi arati na atta gana natte aila. Yehi dui atta mili. Chabisha atta haila. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this way, we have found three more meanings of the Atmarama verse. Combining these with the other meanings, and the total number of meanings adds up to 26 in all.
So here the whole discussion is about the different various ways of understanding the Atmarama verse. With the certain times cha you add and api you add, so it makes a difference. And in each kind of a combination, a kind of understanding is there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining to Sanatana Goswami with examples. So like this, they have reached number 26 kinds of meanings for the Atmarama verse. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
आरा अर्थ सोना यहाँ तेरा भंडारा स्थूले दुई अर्थ सूक्ष्मे बत्रीसा प्रकारा. Translation by translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is yet another meaning which is full of variety of imports. Actually, there are two gross meanings and 32 subtle meanings. Shall I read purport, Mataji? Purport. The two gross meanings refer to regulative devotional service and spontaneous devotional service. There are also 32 subtle meanings. Under the heading of regulative devotional service, there are 16 meanings based on understanding of word Atmarama to mean: number 1, a servant of the Lord as his personal associate; 2, a personal friend; 3, personal parents are similar superiors; 4, personal beloved; 5th, a personal elevated by spiritual cultivation; 6th, a friend by spiritual cultivation; 7th, parents and superior devotees by cultivation of devotional service; Eighth, beloved wife or female friend by cultivation of devotional service. Ninth, a mature devotee as a servant. Tenth, a mature devotee as a friend. 11th, a mature devotee as a parent and superior. 12th, a mature devotee as a wife and beloved. 13th, an immature devotee as servant. 14th, an immature devotee as friend. 15th, an immature devotee as a father or superior. 16th, an immature devotee as a beloved. Similarly, under the heading of spontaneous devotion, there are also 16 various associates. Therefore, the total number of devotees under the heading of regulated devotees and spontaneous devotees is 32. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
So here we can understand that see all these things we may not be able to remember, but what we can at least appreciate is the vastness of the language of Sanskrit and the vastness of devotees, because it is so that one word has so many meanings. So that is the kind of depth which Sanskrit language has, and that is the kind of because the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna, how many meanings he is able to bring about, and it is that kind of a Vaishnava who is able to understand and appreciate it. For us, it is really so much at the because every verse we keep forgetting when we move to the forward, because for us it is more of numbers, but we can at least appreciate the greatness of devotional service. Dr. K. Kalpagavalli Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandatna. आत्मा सब
आत्मा शब्द को है
आत्मा शब्दे कही सर्व विद्या भगवान एक स्वयं भगवान अरे भगवान अकियाना translation with Prabhupada. The word Atma refers to all the different personalities of Godhead. One of them is the Supreme Personality of God Himself, Krishna, and the others are different incarnations or expansions of Krishna. Purport, shall I continue, Mataji? Purport, the word Atma also includes all kinds of personalities known as Bhagavan. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It means that Krishna has unlimited expansions. This is described in Brahma Samhita.
दशांतरम अभ्युपेत्य दीपायते व्रत हेतु समान धर्म यस्ताद्र एव हि च विष्णुतया विभाति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि.
Govindamadi Tamaham Bhajami. The expansions of Krishna are thus compared to candles that have been lit from an original candle. All the second candles are equally powerful, but the original candle is that from which all the others have been lit. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is expanded as Balarama, Shankrishna, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva. In this way, there are innumerable incarnations and expansions who are also called Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Regarding the variety of personalities known as Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Vinoda Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura says, the personality of Godhead known as Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that his expansions are all also the personality of Godhead. In other words, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the origin of all personalities of Godhead. Speculative philosophers and mystic yogis also meditate upon the form of Krishna, but this is not the form of the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a Bhagavan is but a partial representation of God's full potency. Nonetheless, he also has to be understood to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To clarify the matter, one should simply understand that Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, is Brahmadeva, the friend of the cowherd boys and the lover of the gopis, is actually the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is attained by spontaneous love. Although his expansions are also called the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are attained only by the execution of regulated devotional service. Thank you, Mataji.
So here the Brahma Samhita verse says that how Krishna is the original, and so we know that how Krishna is there. Then we have the first quadruple expansion, then we have Mahasankarshan, another quadruple expansion, and his expansion is Mahavishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. For us it is very hard to comprehend, and for us everybody is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But here it is very clearly stated that Krishna, one, the original person who is the son of Nanda, and the lover of the gopis, the Gopijana Vallabha, the Gopinath, he is the one who is the original personality of Godhead, and he is the one who plays his flute, and he is the one with his flute, he is able to enchant the heart of his devotees, and that is how the gopis fell in love with the, means they just carried away by the enchanting flute of Gopijana Vallabha or Gopinath. So that way here it has been emphasized that how Krishna is the original personality of God and all our others are his expansion. Yes, Shobha Mataji, I think what you will read will be the last. Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Krishna Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.
Jai.
तान्ते रामी से शब आत्मा रामा विधि भक्त रागा भक्ता दुगी वीरा नामा. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who always engages in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Atmarama. There are two types of Atmaramas. One is an Atmarama engaged in regulative devotional service, and the other is an Atmarama engaged in spontaneous devotional service. Haribol, thank you, Mataji. Pranam.
Yeah, so here it is finally they have come to the point that how Atmarama is also means one who is a Raganuga Bhakta or a Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakta. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakta generally we all fall under that category where our spiritual master or a senior Vaishnava or Srila Prabhupada has given us the regulative principles to follow and the limbs of different steps of different sadhana bhakti, and we just follow it. We follow it because we are supposed to follow it, and by following it, automatically our heart will be cleansed. This is the process. There is second one is spontaneous devotional service, that is also called as Raganu Bhakti. These are devotees who are already having the love for Krishna in their heart. So for them, follow means love for Krishna is very spontaneous, always, all the time they are remembering. And the example of spontaneous Raganuka bhaktas are the devotees of Vrindavan, where constantly they are chanting the name of Krishna, constantly they have love for Krishna, constantly they have feelings for Krishna, and when Krishna is in search or is in misery, when they feel very miserable because they connect so deeply with the emotions of Lord Krishna. For us it is more of a seva, is a regulated seva. We so much we cannot connect with the Lord. That is, we cannot understand the Lord's Vipralamba Bhava or his Sambhoga Bhava, and our heart does not beat according to his mood. For us, it is more of a organized seva that this we are supposed to, this time we are supposed to, these are things which we are supposed, these are not to do's, don'ts. I am following the right path and do good association and follow the instruction of the spiritual master, follow the don't do Vaishnava aparad. So these are things which we follow. That also means as the word Atmarama. That is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And here another one is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. We being in the position of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, we cannot imitate the situation or symptoms of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakta where we tell that, no, you know what, I have so much love for Krishna and I don't have to follow the Vaidhi Bhakti. I don't have to actually, because the Vrindavan Vasis or the Gopis never chanted 16 rounds. They did not have that because for them, we chant so that we develop some love for Krishna. For them, love of Krishna is overflowing actually. And even Krishna is immersed in that love of Krishna which gopis are having. And even Krishna is not able to understand what is the kind of love which Srimati Radharani or the gopis feel for Krishna. And that is the reason he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the situation there. And our situation is we are just following because somewhere some love comes in our heart. And when we are in that situation, we should not simply follow thinking that I am a Raganuga Bhakta and then give up the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakta. I tell that I also don't have to chant because I have so much love for Krishna in my heart. That becomes a hypocrite. So this is what has been. So that is also termed as Atmarama. This is also termed as Atmarama. It comes in different contexts which Atmarama we are referring it to. Well, so that is how. So with that we complete here. Today we will stop here. Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्ण।
Thank
हरे
you so much,
कृष्णा
Mataji, for the nice
हरे
class.
कृष्णा दंडवत
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much.
दंडवत हरे
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.